So we got, so you see that we had been, for the last couple of sessions, and especially uh, we understand that how to realize the real self. And in that category, we how to define real self. So defining real self means that we should be very clear that what is not real self. First thing. Second thing, what I witness here and now. And then we go to the definition of the real self so that knowledge is realized in us. Now, the most striking thing where people 99% fails, that we do not recognize. And we need to contemplate a lot on that issue. So I cite an example. I am unhappy with you. So I have a desire to be happy with you. So that desire is projecting happiness on me. But the next moment I don't like you. So that liking enters into the mind, and that is your subtle ego. So you don't like me. Now let me leave this session. Leave it. Leave it. So do I focus on gaining the knowledge, or am I getting carried away by the mind who says I like it or I dislike you? I like you, that's why I'm attending your session. No. That is also ego. I don't like you, hence I'm not attending your session. That is also the subtle ego. That needs to be contemplated. Does my mind, is my mind focused on gaining the knowledge, realizing, discovering the peace and happiness? Do you like every part of your body? No. Still you keep it. That's how the life is moving. I don't want to go deeper into it, but you know where I'm pointing you. Do you like 100% your honey, your relations? No. Still you are living with them. I like you, I will listen to you, but I dislike you, I will not listen to you. So you are that subtle ego. I have to recognize in my daily activities so that your mind is totally focused on the self-discovery. You like my beard or not, it does not make any difference. My mind should be very clear what knowledge he is giving, how to realize that knowledge. You are focused. Otherwise, what will happen? That ego will sneak into the mind. I am dissatisfied. Ask questions why you are dissatisfied. Now, did I tell you that three parts of a definition? What I witness here and now, how my mind is working while you are listening to me. No, I like this, I don't know. Our master says that likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment is an unconscious, habitual, instinctive, impulsive movement. I have to keep it aside in order to reach to the final journey. Why we are together? That should be very clear. No one is greater, neither the teacher nor any student. The masters of the Eastern wisdom treat everyone equally, depending on your temperament. We are here to evolve, discover real self. We are here to unfold ourselves. We are not here to add likes and dislikes. We are here to examine how likes and dislikes creates a covering. Drop it. For the awakening, the intellect, and defeat the mind. Pettiness of the habits, instinct. How long we are going to go with likes and dislikes? How many times you liked honey? Tell me, and how many times you disliked honey? What is the result? What is the outcome? We do not realize, and then the mind hijacks. That is how the mind hijacks, and then we say, okay, then let me do this practice and that practice, and I'm doing the practice inspired and by the Google, but the Google is not the right teacher to learn. So that is why we say the journey of the self-inquiry must go with the discernment. Self-inquiry with the intellect, with the right knowledge. If it is not happening, then you will find, oh, I've been attending this session for so long, nothing is happening. You're responsible. No, I'm saying I'm also partially responsible, but you are more responsible. Because the way the knowledge is given, it is not received by your mind. So what is the solution? That is why I help you to recognize 5 defects. Do you remember? 5 defects: obsession with the body, attachment and detachment, ego, and ignorance. What we should do, the righteous intellect. If I don't follow the righteous intellect in my daily, personal, professional, social, and family lives, what is going to happen? Every day the mind will gather a lot of likes and dislikes. And it will prevent. Dispassion intellect, directly attacking the likes and dislikes. Love intellect, I have to drop that ego at every moment in my life. Recognition of that, understanding. Oh, I hate this beer guy. Okay, get the knowledge. Continue hating. That will help you. But because of likes and dislikes, I react, it will not work. That is why we give lot of stress that we should become a seeker. 4 powers of the intellect, I'm just repeating, and then we will power of faith. Do you remember? Power of decision, power to hold on to the choice, and power to control and regulate. What are the 5 remarkable things that takes place in the intellect? Now, what is happening when there is no likes and dislikes? There is no sense of ego. The real self becomes famous in the mind. You are more concerned about the real self. Leave aside likes and dislikes. Let me learn, reach to that stage. Let me change my behavior and attitude. Outside, and that helps me to get a recognition. Intellect should shine. The greater the shining of the intellect, by learning these principles, you have an emotional freedom instead of emotional dependence. And then recognition, glories I talked about, and the helpfulness, the ultimate. Now what should I do when I reach to the higher state? You need not to think about it. It will happen by itself. You set an example in your daily life. After all, we are going to meet people. In my profession, in my society, in my family. So what is going to happen? You are living in discernment. You are expressing in discernment and dispassion and kindness and helpfulness. You become a center of evolving others. So once we are clear about it, then let us go. Last time we understood what is the real self is other than the 3 bodies. First is the physical, that is perceived by the sense organs. Second is the subtle body. So I coined a concept that I will take up in detail later, in future, in the following sessions, that there is a material cause of the body. We all know it, material cause. Our body came from the parents' physical body. But what is the efficient cause? Now, we can say, all the different elements composed makes a protoplasm. One unit of protoplasm is a cell, and ultimately the cell makes the tissues. Tissues makes the organs, and organs makes the system. That is how this body is working. But ultimately, what is the ultimate cause of this body? Do you still remember I told you that, the cause of this body is matter. Cause of the matter is earth. Cause of the earth is water. Cause of the water is fire. Cause of the fire is air. Cause of the air is space. Cause of the air is space. And cause of the space is the mind. And cause of the mind is our subtle ego. That's how I recognize the space. When I say I know my body, I know the space, I know the water. You remember. So we go to the ultimate cause, beyond the DNA or the RNA, physical cause. And we will talk in detail so that the things will become clear. What the efficient cause of the physical body is my past karma, past impressions. That we will understand in the following sessions. So now come to the subtle body, an introduction of the subtle body, and remember and just become aware. Simple way to understand that subtle body means that I cannot see through my sense organs. Physical, I can see directly through my sense organs. So we will follow the same thing. What is the material cause of this subtle body? How many elements, how many factors that consist of the subtle body? What is the material cause? What is the efficient cause? And how it works. So what is the subtle body? What is the subtle body? So the master explains, every master, for the last 10,000 years. So it says this subtle body consists of 5 sense organs. Now you will say, but sense organ, no, this is physical. The faculty of seeing is deeper inside. It is subtle. Are you getting it? Faculty of hearing is subtle. Sometimes you see the blind people, oh, their eyes look so good. Eyes look so bright. And still they are not able to see. So that is what we are talking in the subtle body. In the subtle body, we have 5 sense organs, we have 5 motor organs, we have 5 types of energy. So in modern biology, modern physiology, we see different physiological functions. So all the physiological functions are grouped into 5 functions. So 15, and then the 5 elements, 5 sense organ, 5 motor organs, and then we have mind and intellect. 17, and then we have these 17. Let us take it only 17 in the beginning. So subtle body. So the subtle body is made up of 5 subtle elements. 5 sense organs. The faculty that perceives, the faculties that acts are the 5 motor organs. 5 motor organs, 5 sense organs, 5 elements, 15, plus mind and the intellect. 17 things all together is known as the subtle body. What is the material cause of the body? The material cause of this subtle body is 5 subtle elements. So just hold on to that journey, and then we will understand that what are exactly these 5 elements when we say the earth. So anything that is solid, that solidifies, that is what we claim as earth element. Bone inside. Anything that grossifies, that becomes like a solid, hard. Anything that is liquid has to do with the water element. We already know. Enzymes. Enzymes and blood. Like this. So hold on to that understanding as we go deeper. And the efficient cause of this subtle body is also my past impressions. So how these past impression works, what are these past impressions, from where they come, that we will understand as we progress. So now see, the subtle body is the source of skills, talents, madness, craziness, and also good and bad things. My physical body, this hand, does not contain a hatred and love. It is in the subtle body. Do you see? It's a wonderful understanding. So my hate, my love, my likes and dislike, my skill set. By looking at your physical body, I don't know how many of you can drive. So that skill set lies in the subtle body. So that subtle body is an aggregate. 5 subtle elements, 5 sense organs, because first I have 5 sense organs, 5 instruments of knowledge, by which I gain the skill set. But how do I demonstrate those 5 skill sets? By the 5 motor organs. At present, I'm expressing the skill sets of a teacher by speaking, by using the motor organs. Do you see that? So when we raise our awareness of these 17 elements that constitutes the subtle body, our all attachment and ego, they start dropping and dissolving. Do you still remember? What is not real self? That is what we are covering. In the first category, we have 3 bodies, physical, subtle. So we are taking care of the subtle body. The subtle body redefines. Now, this subtle body can be changed. That is what I have been talking about. Mind is nothing but behavior attitude guided by the instinct, impulse, and habit. Intellect is guided by the knowledge. So if I get the knowledge, my mind leaves those instinctive habit that is expressed in action or in my habit, in my thought. Any experience, good, bad, high, low, takes place in this subtle body. So in the beginning, I used to say that all experiences takes place in the mind, but all experiences takes place in the subtle body. 5 sense organ also participate, 5 subtle element participate, 5 motor organ participate. Is it going inside? Just become aware. You are looking at me. So it's not the physical eye, it is behind that eye. There is a faculty of the vision associated with the mind and the intellect working together helps me recognize here is a Sam, here is a Ashok, here is a David. Do you see that? By this we are making our mind subtler and subtler so that this mind says here is the real self. This subtle body, by birth, now you can say by birth, comes with different talents, intelligence, brilliance, aura, magnetism, skills, aptitude, temperament. Now you cannot show the hand, I have a magnetism. No, it doesn't work. It belongs to the subtle body. You see that? It belongs to the subtle body. And that has some bearing on the past karma, the past impressions that we are going to understand. So at present, we just become aware of where are the five. You see that five sense organs. When I'm speaking, how do you confirm that I'm speaking to you? Eyes, vision, listening. Eyes are looking at the movement of the lips. So everything is happening inside. Do you see that? Can you become aware of that everything is happening inside? Likes and dislikes is happening inside in the subtle body. Hate and the love is happening inside the body. Talent also happens inside. Intelligence, brilliance, aura, magnetism, the skills, aptitude, temperament. So here we can experience the three qualities of the subtle body. I'm adding so many things. Why you are adding so many things? Five sense organs, five elements, five motor organs, mind and intellect. They all are governed by the three qualities. One quality is focused on the knowledge. The other quality is focused on the activity. That is known as Rajoguna. That activity causes likes and dislikes unconsciously, habitually, instinctively. And there is a third quality, I'm using the word. Third quality present in all the 17 factors of the subtle body that opposes the knowledge. It goes against. It has a violence, character, laziness, and extreme, which is known as tamoguna. Why I am saying so? Simple factor. You wake up in the morning. You are upset. It is caused by the second quality of activity. I must recognize mind. Where are you going? Why you are upset? Nothing happened to you. I must become aware. You wake up in the morning, you're totally fresh. You see that your sleep score is 80%. Oh, that is knowledge part. Can I live into that knowledge part all the time? What will happen? You bypass the ego. You bypass all the likes and this. No, I'm only concerned about the knowledge. You give me the knowledge. What you are, that's your problem. Sometimes you even, as a seeker, you say, oh no, I know that, I feel insulted, but still I get a knowledge. So that insult comes from the tamasic guna, the third quality. I did not. I never do it. But if you feel it, it's your interpretation that comes from these three gunas. Hey Vaibhav, I'm smiling and saying, Vaibhav, you are crazy. So Vaibhav doesn't feel bad. Do you see that? And when I'm so serious, you are crazy. See the play of these three gunas. Do you see that? You open your eyes, little more as if you are angry, you make a sad face, and then you say someone crazy. Reaction takes place by these 17 elements. And no, you seem to be crazy. You say it softly and gently, it doesn't allow the other person to react. You might have done many a times. Do you see that? So we are answering the questions, We are not stopping once I say I dislike you, so I'm not going to join you. No, I want to know why my mind dislikes and what is my goal. Huh? Did you get it? My focus is what is my goal. So when my focus is what is my goal, my mind is focused on the knowledge. The intellect is not allowing the mind to be instinctive, impulsive. Did you get it? No? Remember the phrase when I say, many times people say I'm crazy. I say I'm more crazy than you think. Do you remember the phrase I use many a times? See that? So you're subtle, you have to evolve the subtle body in such a manner that no situation outside can dictate you. That is known as the process of evolution. That will help us awaken, and it can only happen as we follow the path of this self-discovery. Did you get it? No, even if you don't understand, I'm already sending you the recording. Your mind might have gone somewhere, so no problem. No problem, you can listen to it again. One thing that once I become aware, I'm not going into the 5 subtle elements, I'm only going into the 5 organs of perception, means 5 sense organs and the 5 motor organs. They go together with mind and intellect. Last thing, and then we will do the practice. I had been with another great master whose name is U.G. Krishnamurti. You can Google out U.G. Krishnamurti for about 3 months. One of great master, enlightened master. He was very direct and forthright. I'm just citing an example to make you understand. So I used to ask a crazy question, are you enlightened? Don't ask me, this is a stupid question. He used to tell us, he was very straight and blunt. He said, why you are asking me this question? That will create a desire in the mind. And that desire will project the awakened state outside, and you will fall back into the delusion. One thing. So I said, how should I ask another question? I said, Yuji, do you see the fan is moving? Yes. So at that time, the fan was making a very hard noise. So Yuji said, yes. I love that. great master Yuji. So I said, but I asked Yuji, how do you see the fan moving and the noise coming from the fan? His answer was very soft, gentle, and straight. He said that something consciousness here separates the movement of the fan with the noise. Did you get it? His consciousness separated, consciousness going through the mind recognized the sound separately, consciousness going through the mind recognized the movement separately. I believe you get it. Even if you don't get it, you have to think of it. And it blew my mind. So, oh, what a state of a consciousness, what a state of the mind you have. So if you are able to separate, you reach to that state, there is no attachment and detachment. Now, I'm concluding that. You look at your honey, looking is one thing, but the mind is fully aware of the impressions that you have gathered about the honey inside. Separate. Honey is separate. Are you getting it? Oh, that mind can never go into stress, likes, dislikes, hates, pain, and pleasure. You can add hot and cold, pain and pleasure, likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment, that is absent. So it's all the craziness, unconscious movement of these 17 elements of the subtle body makes me stressed and can make me happy. Well, we will learn a little more deeper about this subtle body in our next session. So let us start. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And we will follow a bit of practice with this subtle body. Eyes are closed. Now pay attention. The physical body is what I'm saying, close your eyes. It's purely physical. But why I'm saying? To withdraw the faculty of the vision from outside to inside. But how it will happen? By the subtle body. The mind has to be aware. When the mind is aware, looking inside the forehead in the space, my friends, that's a simple step that I say that. Do you see that? Now you can deepen the practice naturally. You can deepen the practice naturally. So now you are aware of those 17 elements, or just 5 sense or faculty of senses, 5 faculty of action. Without the order of the mind, none of these 10 senses can function. Is it that so? Yes. Steadiness in the body. Eyes are closed. You are listening to me again, the faculty of listening. Just see that. How easy the journey becomes, and you miss. And these faculties are fighting against each other, opposing each other based on the habit, instinct. You are gone. Look at it. So we have been doing the breathing. So our master says there's 5 different patterns of the energy takes care of all the physiological, biochemical and the neurological functions. When we use the word energy or prana, we have mostly to do with our nervous system. And that also we should include the physiology. That is why we are doing this quick and short breath. At the same time, we want to separate the mind by dropping gently the Om Shanti. Last time everyone has a beautiful experience. So you see that we can separate inside our mind, not physically. The breath is going deep side, quick and short, and the mind is chanting the breath, second layer. And what is the third? Third is the physical. The physical body remains steady. Gradually, by regular practice, the mind recognizes, yes, I can separate this physical body is here, the subtle body is here. Let us start breathing. Quick short breath through both the nostrils into the chest. Body is steady and the mind is dropping. Om Shanti. Deep inside the heart in the space, you have a constant expansion and contraction of the rib cage. Now I believe you understand why I was giving this step. Sometime I give the practice before I explain the principle, and sometime we do it together. So now in this session we are doing it together. I believe if you have understood UG Krishnamurti answer, means mind is, you work there, you have ordered. Who ordered? Intellect. The intellect says no, continue breathing, quick and short. Intellect says no, but don't move the entire body. Don't start making the body dance. What is happening? That intellect is recognizing these 3 layers, 3 levels. We don't need those sophisticated instruments, lab equipments to understand this journey. Our body itself is a big lab. Continue, quick short, gentle breath, Om Shanti, body is steady. That is how our great masters have a total control, dominance. No, I hate you. So hate comes from either listening or through the sense organ of the eye. And suddenly the intellect comes. Eyes, what you perceive separated from the mind. That hatred, that like, do not remain. Continue breathing. Continue breathing. Quick short breath. And I'll say you can even do, because if you separate in your mind, you can do the practice even for 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30, 40. That separation is that union is attachment. They have their independent existence. Continue doing it and check that you are in the state of a joy. Oh, it's a play and a fun. And stop it. Do nothing. Just an awareness. So, what is that awareness that helps me to recognize there are five sense organs, the five motor organs? That is very clear to us, even to the mind. And awareness will understand the five physiological functionings. So, here it is an experiential learning by doing the nyasa. So you start deep silent slow breath, that is your car, mind is the driver, the space is the highway, the intellect, you're dropping Om Shanti. And the first is, as you inhale, mind goes with the inhalation inside the right arm, in the space or emptiness, singing Om Shanti. So you see that you are separating the intellect, saying Om Shanti, the mind is moving with the breath, that energy. And you are aware internally. So that brings variety of experiences. Continue with Nyasa inside the right arm. So now we have to do the Nyasa with reference to these 17 constituents of the subtle body. Sometimes you feel energy level goes up, and because of energy changes, we experience hot and cold, we experience tingling and numbness, we experience a sense of bodilessness. All those experiences comes by the 5 types of energy, understood as 5 different functions. I believe so. It's making clear. We'll have 1 or 2 more sessions on the subtle body to make you understand clearly. You're not at all concerned. It's a reference point of the right arm. It's just a reference. And the rest, everything is happening at the subtler level. The mind is moving, the breath is moving, you're dropping Om Shanti, and you are experiencing the change. Now inside the left arm, You're doing the practice with an awareness of the subtle body, or you are doing the practice without. A huge difference. Shanti. You are singing. One layer. Deep silence, slow breathing is going on. Second layer. Reference point. Only reference point is the left arm. You're not doing anything at the physical level. Do you see the physical and the subtle body? Is a separation. Greater the separation, you realize within. You need not to worry about your attachment, likes and dislikes, pain and pleasure. Even if you have an extreme pain, that is, mind says, I'm calm. I'm going to increase the duration of the practice. And you will see that it is not big deal. You can do it even for an hour, more than an hour. And now inside the right leg. You see that the mind, intellect, five senses, five motor, they are faculties. I hope so that I'm making, they are faculties. They are working together at the subtler level. So you don't leave a chance for the physical body to move. That is the key. So if unusual experiences causes some disturbance at the subtler level, that is what we recognize. We gain a knowledge. Oh, this is why this is happening. And when you recognize why this is happening, it is easy to remove them. Otherwise, physical body is kept aside, working with the subtle body. So it's not one day that we become aware of all the 17 elements of the subtle body. So as we do continue the practice regularly, and we realize, oh, this is how it is happening. Why the like and dislike? Why the hate and love? Moving inside the left leg. Now, Om Shanti, singing, follow your own rhythm. That's why I'm not doing. And you are witnessing. It's not me to impress upon. You are witnessing this body, physical one, is kept aside. Shanti. And now inside the spine. So Nyasa becomes an important tool to explore the subtle body, its many 17 elements, its movement. And when you discover, for example, the pleasure from the object outside, what is going to happen? You are able to see that separation of the object, pleasure, mind. Will you still be running after that pleasure? Or pain or life in this life? It's a great principle. And now leave this, look inside the heart. So now it will make more sense that why I'm giving all these 3 steps. Looking inside the heart in the space, then you see the triangle, move the mind on a triangle. either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Then look inside the center of the triangle, equilateral, pointing upward. And you sing deeper, and while singing, the mind drops deep inside and dropping Shanti. And after that, you see the mind is not ready to invoke any thought, feeling from the past. It stays there. Very good. Live there. Otherwise, you can repeat the same triangle. So this step is pointing to the causal body that we are yet to understand. Shanti. Sometime what happened, the mind, because of the past impression, find itself lonely, and then it says, where I am, so let me do it again. You see, you will discover these, I won't use the word negative, but you will discover unwanted movements of the mind. And the moment you will realize, it will go deeper. Every master says that once we are here, we should either do the extended practice or we should do it regularly. Shanti. And you're already do nothing, but can we recognize and become aware of the subtle body? A slight movement of the mind. The mind reminds through the memory, oh, I saw this guy. No, I felt this guy. No, I had a like. Millions of impressions you can recognize, but now you are not at all carried away. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Why I kept silent. This Om Shanti 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 has to do with the subtle body. It has nothing to do with the physical. Shanti Shanti Shanti. And again. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Pay attention. Become aware who lifts your hand. Is it the work of the subtle body or the physical? Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. How are you, David and Jerry?
Very good. It was very, very fast. My habitual mind in the past on the Nyasa is wanting to go the other direction on the breathing in my limbs. And this time I said to myself, just ignore that and let it go. And it just went away. All that desire went away, and it was just a deep practice.
Yes. Yes, you recognize why the mind is unnecessarily running where it should not. And that separates the contents from the mind itself. And that leads to the deeper state. We need not to make any effort. That's a wonderful way. And how are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Yeah, the mind seemed empty until about 3/4 of the way through. And then it started kind of wanting to assess what was going on.
Yeah.
So I just ignored it, but it was very quiet for a long while.
Very quiet. That's beautiful. Quietness also. You see that now, even during the day, after a couple of sessions, the time will come, you can recognize the like and dislike before it converts into a thought. Those impulses, whether you say impulse or feeling, whatever you want to say, you instantly recognize that deeper inside. Oh, that is it. And the very recognition removes it. How are you, Stephen?
Good. It was a very quick meditation. I was absorbed within myself, and there was no thoughts. And a lot of the time that the mind came in was the battle between basically, I don't know, maybe my mind telling me that it's time to bring your hands up to your eyes, and the rest of me wanted to just stay where I was. So it was great. Thank you.
It's a great, beautiful. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. It was a very deep meditation for me. towards the end of it, I was developing a really strong tickle in my throat,
Yeah.
but it didn't change the meditation. I felt it was there, but it didn't get me out of the meditation. I just kept feeling peace.
Feeling that's really good. That's deeper. That's very deeper. Once we have that awareness, how are you, Vaibhav? In fact, we spent more time today. Stephen and David said, "Oh, it went so quick." How are you, Vaibhav?
So it was very peaceful. It's like that. I always have a choice with me to go with my mind, or I can stay back. So if I choose to stay back, then I'm always at peace.
I like this. I like this statement. You guys do not understand. I use your statement in other sessions. I'm learning from you. So when I stay back, it means I'm aware. That awareness is knowledge. That knowledge is experience. So why I stay back? Because the mind wants to move in another direction. That is what David also explained in a different way. So that is how we recognize this subtle body. How are you? Do you have subtle body, Ashok?
Yes, sir. Good and peaceful.
Good and peaceful, yes. Your subtle body actually from inside expressed through the physical body. Can we see
Yes.
that? You see that? My smile, my expression. So it appears as if my physical eye outside is looking, but no, subtle body. Even that understanding can take you deeper. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत अच्छा था सर, बहुत पीसफुल था। और सर वही होता है कि विचार आते हैं और मुझे समझ में आ जाता है, और तो वही स्टे बैक वाली बात है कि
Yeah, thought comes, she recognizes, and then she stays back. It's a wonderful. How are you, Anesthesia?
Thank you. I'm fine. It was very deep, and I'm like a cake now. I see different layers. Like this is my body, this is my mind, this is my settled body. When I see images, I understand that its mind is working. I have started to seeing an eye inside my heart.
Yeah.
It's like an almond converting to eye, then to a flower, and I understand. But then I don't pay attention, and I try to stay in this merged state, like everything is combined. And the interesting thing happened to me because when I merged with the space, I've heard a sound recently, seemed to an air siren. You know, now we have several sirens during the day or even night, and we go downstairs, and I felt a fear, but I didn't feel my body because I was deeply in meditation. I felt like a straight line here, like my face and lungs and heart and stomach, and I felt very strong fear, and then it disappeared. It was like a second, and I understood that it was on my settled body, because actually my physical body I didn't. And I understood that all attachments happened with our settled body. So
beautiful. That is beautiful. Many points. Attachment, fears, anxiety first takes place in the subtle body. Then it is expressed outside.
Yeah.
And the secret I gave you, I believe you all understood what Yuji meant when he said, consciousness going through the mind. I see the noise of the fan at one place and I see the movement at the other place. Can we live into that awareness and then challenge your mind? Be angry. Be attached. Be scared. Bring all the negative emotions and put them, just be there. Thanks to our great masters. That is all for today. And we'll meet again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
और संगीता ठीक है